Yeah, he always said you must create muscle confusion. So you just you go, muscles are like, I don't know
which way going?
What's
You
happening?
start walking over to the tricep machine, you take a hard right, and you start doing bicycles.
Muscles like, no, I don't know what's happening. Okay, I'll grow. It's fine.
Yes,
I'll
yeah,
grow.
you confused me. I'm growing.
Thanks. Okay.
You load up 100 kgs to back squat, and instead of just before you're about to back squat, you start doing calf raises.
Yeah,
Got you there.
Welcome everybody to another episode of No Results, Only Excuses, where we talk fitness nonsense and partial facts. My name is Matthew Bauman, and as always, I am joined by
Courtney Dick.
And Justin Dick.
We got married last week.
Congratulations, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
We need gifts for
I
our
always
wedding.
wanted my surname to be Dick.
So give us wedding gifts. We'll give you our bank details, our joint bank details.
Yeah. Or we'll just give you our Patreon account
Yes.
for no Rex, and then we'll share it with Matthew.
It's set up there,
Yeah,
but we
I
have
was-
no
I was
bonus
the best
content.
man.
Yes. So, since we haven't got much time today, Justin's going to run away
Yeah,
again.
Justin, we're going to run away since he
Uh,
made this late because his class ran.
His class is late.
Sorry guys, I was busy coaching everyone to PB their muscle ups.
Take that out of his salary.
And I was
He was
trying
busy saving lives.
I was also trying to keep Courtney calm.
Yes, because Courtney was coming last, as usual in the workout. I got capped. I just carried on going again. I finished like a minute and a half after the time cap.
Oh, there we go.
While everyone was giving in their scores, I was still busy doing the workout.
Write it down in your notes and for improvement next time.
Yeah, so next time, in another 3 years when we repeat this workout. But I've got some news today.
Oh.
Remember a couple of weeks ago we spoke about the nationalization, in inverted commas, of sport in South Africa.
Yes.
And
In a
gyms.
democratic country.
Yes, so a bit of communism in our democratic country maybe. So I was scrolling on Facebook and I saw that Tian Visser. Who's Tian Visser?
Tian Visser is the, I think he's the head of the CrossFit HQ Africa
Yeah?
communications.
This is communications and health and management of CrossFit in South Africa.
Yes.
Something.
I think he's
The head honcho.
He's the mediator.
He's the guy you
the
want to know
catalyst.
in Africa if you want to get close to Dave Castro and Greg Glassman.
Yes. If you want to go.
You ask him what kind of whiskey they like.
Yeah. Just send Tian a WhatsApp and ask him if you can be his friend, and you might get closer to the top.
If you want to go hunting with Dave Castro and Greg Glassman.
And
Yes.
the dog.
And his dog, yes. Doug the doggo.
Yeah.
So Tian was writing on the stupidly named the South African Community Facebook page, which doesn't say anything about CrossFit, but somehow
You
CrossFit
can't
is...
find it if you wanted to find it.
Yes.
It just is the South African community.
So I'm thinking, I really want to join CrossFit. I'm going to look on Facebook for CrossFit, and then you won't find it.
No.
It's just called the South
I
African...
typed it in when you sent this because you sent a screenshot.
Yeah.
And the one I remember mainly was South African Atheist Community.
Is it?
Other than that, I could not find the CrossFit one,
Yeah.
which is because it's just called the South African Community.
It's just stupid. So anyway, Tian was writing on there, and he was saying that CrossFit HQ are actually writing a letter to the government of South Africa to appeal this bill that they're bringing in, which is quite interesting. I didn't know CrossFit were involved in such things,
I had no idea.
letter writing and such. So I don't know who's writing that letter. It's the one staff member that's left. He's writing the letter. I don't know if Justin's commented on the letter.
Did we address this in a previous podcast?
Yes, you were here.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
did. It rings a bell. But I will say that we spoke about it and we said, correct me if I'm wrong, that it was a bad idea.
I think we said half.
Half.
Yeah.
Some of it's good, some of it's bad.
It's a bad idea if the government's getting involved because they just seem to be screwing up on many fronts.
Yes.
Okay,
Our trains are fucked, our power lines are fucked.
Our gyms.
Our gyms are now potentially going to be put in the same category.
might get fucked. Yeah.
Yeah.
But before you read that,
Yeah.
I don't know.
What does he think?
What do I think?
Yes.
He supports HQ.
Do you support HQ?
He loves.
I
hunting.
support the fact that HQ's courses that we do to educate and license ourselves as CrossFit coaches is way more than sufficient. It obviously comes down to how you apply it, and I'm not going to say every gym in the world or even South Africa is on the same level in terms of quality of service, but I think the legislation around it is good and reliable, and to just add another fee to every trainer's payroll to go to the government as like a tax. Like, I don't necessarily think that's going to improve the quality of service.
Yeah. Well, there were lots of comments on the post, most of them just tagging their friends, which is always silly. But then there was some anger, as people are always on Facebook. But there was one guy who had quite a balanced opinion. I won't, as I say his name.
I don't know. Yeah, well, he's posted on an open platform, so yeah.
I guess so. So Donald Ravenscroft, you can find him and chat to him if you like him or don't like his opinion. So he was saying the legislation is not all bad. Some of it can be a good thing. Ensuring that people are qualified, they keep up their CPD points, are insured.
CBD points?
CPD. Continuous
CPD?
Professional Development.
Not the points, not the points you need to earn in order to take CBD oil.
No. If you get enough CBD points, you get a free bottle of CBD oil. Like a loyalty card.
Excellent.
Yes.
I mean, that's how I think the government's going to go with this one.
Yeah, I think that's the most important.
Yeah.
thing.
CBD points, and then you can choose a range of product from the range.
Yeah.
And then just tell your clients that makes you better.
Yes, exactly. So we'll do that. And also he was saying making gyms keep up with health and safety regulations, keeping first aid up to date, complying with labour law, UIF, pay as you earn and stuff like that. That's good. And because there's a body in charge of gyms, they can now police those things.
Okay, so sorry, just to specify,
Yeah.
this would be a tax for the gym, not
Yes.
for the trainer.
For the gym. Which is fine. I don't see a problem with that.
Based on that, if that is what the bill is going to enforce,
Yeah.
that's fine.
I'm okay with that. And then he was saying, as we said in our podcast, maybe Donald listens to our podcast. Let us know, Donald, if you're listening to this. He was saying that there were some things like a government having a list of all the members, having a say about what hours the gym can be open, how much they can charge, etc., etc. That's not a good thing.
No.
Which I think I agree with Donald as well there.
That gets a bit grey. That's sort of like the government enforcing its views on how to run your gym.
And the worst thing, the person that's going to be enforcing these views is just someone that's probably
Fat.
read. Someone's fat.
Someone
just read a Wikipedia page about how CrossFit gyms are or something like that.
Yeah.
And be like, yeah.
He's going to go look at like the poverty line and then say, right guys, your gym memberships need to be 50 Rand a month.
Yeah.
I understand you can't afford anything with 50 Rand a month, but maybe you'll get 500,000 sign-ups.
Yeah, so it'll work out in the end.
It'll work out in the end.
It'll be fine.
If you situate yourself in a densely populated area.
Yeah. So that's the end of that news. We have some other news that I didn't remember. We forgot to talk about.
Your marriage.
Our marriage, yes. Besides that, Justin, your gym, Cape CrossFit, is opening up a new branch
Yes.
in a foreign country,
In
which
Mauritius.
is not subject to these laws.
Cape CrossFit Santosha.
It's not even in
Santosha.
Santosha.
Maybe I'm pronouncing it wrong, Chris. I'd have to just check with Chris.
Santosha.
Santosha or
Santosha.
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 Yeah. So tell us about this gym.
I don't know what the...
He's fallen asleep. What don't you know? The people are waiting to hear what you don't know.
What does a Mauritian dialect sound like?
They speak like French and Creole.
Okay, so how would we pronounce the
Justin's
name
still
Santosha?
on the name.
Yeah, he's still on the name. I thought he didn't tell us about the gym.
How we had to just get this right.
Oh, I don't know.
If
I
you're
have
in
no
Mauritius,
idea.
how would it sound? Courtney, you can speak French.
Well, I don't speak. Actually, Santosha is not a French word. Apparently, it's Hindi.
Hindi.
Didn't Chris say that in the post? I think he said it's Hindi.
I don't very much.
So there's no point pronouncing it in a French way.
How do you spell it?
Santosha.
Okay.
While Matt's looking, tell us about the gym, Justin. Can we go there with our existing memberships?
I can't confirm or deny that.
The flight's going to be quite expensive.
Yes. I mean, if you happen to be traveling from home to work and you stop at Santosha on the way,
Yes, you can drop in.
you might have to email Chris and ask him.
You'll ask him if you can drop in. Yeah. So Chris is building the gym. It's not there, right?
The gym is what do you call it? The
Skeleton.
The skeleton is there. There's
Yeah.
a building.
Yeah.
It's been revamped as far as I know.
Yeah.
Obviously, like toilets and any specifications that he requested are being put in there by the landlord.
Water coolers.
Don't know about that.
Yeah.
I don't know. The smaller nitty gritty, I think, hasn't been decided upon yet. We're talking about
Yeah.
roof, walls,
Yes.
doors, and windows.
Okay. And then the equipment's coming in. Chris told me they're bringing in the equipment sometime soon, and then they're opening in June, I think.
Yeah,
June.
he set an end date for the 30th.
30th
Or
of
should I
June.
say a start date?
Okay.
So it means complete contentment in Sanskrit.
Sanskrit.
Yeah.
That's,
What is Sanskrit?
Sanskrit's an Asian thing, isn't it?
So if I just dump it into Google Translate, it actually says it's
Why don't you let
It means
Google
happiness.
Translate tell our
complete
listeners?
consensus.
Happiness.
Play it
So-
for our listeners.
Oh,
let
let's see
them
the
speak
phonetic.
it. So yeah, it means happiness, and you can be very happy.
Oh, yeah.
Santosha.
Santosha.
There we go, Santosha.
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 Happiness.
Happiness. There we go. So we've got it.
So it's a bit of a ooh on the Santosha.
Santosha. So
Yeah.
It's got a little line on top of it, and the
I
S
think,
has a funny
um,
thing under it.
I think it's awesome. Like, imagine going to Mauritius for holiday as a CrossFitter and being able to, enjoy that side of your life away from work, away from family stress, and, still able to get a cool workout in while on holiday.
So now there are 3 CrossFit gyms in Mauritius, and this one is going to be the best one.
Just CrossFit's taking over the world.
A lot of gyms in Mauritius, eh? A small population.
Yeah, what is the population?
350,000?
350,000.
Yeah, so it's not huge. I think Cape Town is about 4 million, something like that. So it's not a huge population, but there are 3 gyms, so now they can all compete.
Do you think their work will make like holiday tourists? Most of the money comes from tourists.
I guess so.
There's a lot of expats in Mauritius,
Yeah.
and I think that would be probably the primary market that attends
Yeah.
the gym, or any CrossFit gym on an island for that matter. You got to ask yourself, obviously, what the local population is capable of affording,
Yeah.
and then seeing if that works.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know anything about Mauritius. But okay, that's enough of the news. You got any more news, Matt?
No, we've
No.
got listener feedback, which will falls more under there.
We've got so much listener feedback
Didn't
today.
you guys want to talk about Theophanides?
Left terrace.
Mm.
We
Didn't
need
we?
to do a bit more in-depth research on Mr.
Did we
Druggy.
want to talk about it? Did we talk about it last week?
We're going to do a whole show about drugging,
Oh, were we? Okay.
but not today. Sorry, someone requested that.
Yeah, today's a lazy day.
We'll have to do more research. I
It
don't
goes
have
to the
time.
environment, it's nice and quiet.
Do you guys know that Roland Skuman got pinged?
Oh,
I
yes.
saw that.
I heard that, yeah.
He got pinged for a banned substance.
Only wrote a long thing.
And he said that his whole career has been super proud of himself for not being labelled as a drug user. But unfortunately now it seems like he got some cross-contamination in his supplements.
Yeah, and they reduced his sentence to 1 year, so they probably think there is something to his story. Maybe they believe him. But if you get caught, you get caught. It doesn't matter if you've been contaminated or not, you still get the ban.
Yeah.
Still get caught.
He's almost 40 years old.
This,
He's like 37 or 39.
It must be devastating, like being known to be one of South Africa's greatest, and
Yeah.
at the end of your career, you literally get cross-contaminated.
What was the date of the tests?
Last year. Like in May last year. or
What
something.
sample date? I mean, the date of the sample. Was it last year?
May last year, something like
Oh,
that.
so you actually
Yeah.
did test them.
Yeah, it was a
So
long
it's
time
not
ago.
old samples like.
No, it's not
Ilia's
like
ones.
no, it's not like what they did for the weightlifting where they tested samples from like 2012 and
Yeah,
whatever.
and they're like, we got you.
Where you
just
got
on,
you 10 years
on
later.
new technology.
Yes.
It's like when they catch murderers 20 years later. We got you now.
The
Yes.
guy's dead already.
The DNAs.
He's like, damn it.
DNF.
They DNF him. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
On to the main topic.
So our main topic for today is fitness myths.
Fitness myths.
Some things that you think about fitness that probably aren't true.
I really wish this would be an interactive session, this where we could have people phone in and say, hey, is this really true?
We'll answer to the best of our abilities.
And then we can debunk.
Yeah. So we must do a live show one day.
Maybe
Live show.
we should pretend someone's phoning in and asking the questions.
We're going to have a good internet connection, so
Yes.
Google's right by our fingertips.
Yes. Yeah. We can
So we can Google it for you.
find
guys.
all the answers. But okay, so we got a couple. We'll leave. We got 2 that we're going to put in our bonus content. So if you subscribe,
Boner content.
our bonus content.
Bonus content.
So if you want to hear the bonus content, sign up at our Patreon, and Justin will tell you something that you really want to hear.
Yeah, he'll send you a personal video.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or I will ask you to try it and then let us know.
Yes. So if you're
Send us
sufficiently
personal videos.
if you're sufficiently intrigued by this, sign up to our Patreon.
That's right.
Justin will send you the bonus content. So, the first one that we can actually say on the show is, does creatine make you retain water? Matt, does it make you retain water? Guess. He's fumbling.
I was trying to think if you go onto the ones that you buy and you read on it, and then it says this one does not make you contain water.
Retain.
So my retain water. So from that belief, I'd say yes.
I also say yes.
And everyone else says it. Also,
I'll
it's like a
support it.
widely spread fire.
Listen, I will say this. When I was 16, I remember a lot of the parents were saying, you can take your whey protein, but don't touch that creatine stuff.
The creatine stuff.
And then all the rugby moms and dads were like, don't use creatine. It's going to make you get all swollen and puffy, and it's going to make you retain water, and it's going to damage your kidneys. And this is all the hearsay that goes around. So no one takes creatine, in the fear that perhaps when you take it, your biceps going to get so swollen that just by flicking it, it's going to morph into a different shape and size.
Yeah.
I think that's the image I remember having in my mind of creatine when I first heard about it when I was 16 years old.
Yeah.
I read that it's the most highest researched supplement in the world.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
I think the one thing that we all know for sure is that creatine is good. And that you probably should take creatine if you're like a semi-serious athlete, bodybuilder, trainer, CrossFitter.
It's only going to give you more, what feels like more energy, and help you sustain higher power output for longer.
Yeah.
And that's essentially why we would take it.
Do you think it's the name? Creatine sounds scary.
It does sound horrible.
Okay? It does sound
Creatine, you turn into a monster.
Yeah,
I've been
maybe.
taking creatine, bro.
I just think that, like, I haven't come to see anyone taking creatine where you look at them and you're like, wow,
Yeah.
are you on creatine?
I take creatine and no one's ever told me that.
Yeah, so we haven't Googled this then. So does it actually make you retain water?
I think it makes you
Do you
retain
get puffy?
a little bit of water, but not the amount that you think it's going to.
You're gonna not look
It's not
like
gonna
a
make you-
synthol man.
No.
No.
I don't think you're going to look like you had a bee sting on your face.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and this retention, is this do you reckon it's like just for 2-3 days? It doesn't go on to the next because you take it weekly. Or
Or
take it
daily.
daily.
Yeah.
So let's say when you train or something, maybe you swallow bits.
I mean, I will say this, like, you have your creatine monohydrate, which I think if there is any water retention that is noticeable, it would be more prominent taking the monohydrate over the HCl. That's obviously the other version of the creatine, the hydrochloride. And essentially, if you do look on the bottle, I'm actually going to read one to you guys.
He's grabbing one now.
I got one.
You got one? Well, I got one before you.
Ah.
Oh, give me one. I also want one.
Oh, this is mine. I'm taking this home.
Matt, you can have...
Oh, give me the Endurance Sprint.
I'm going to give you the...
Look, can I say what I think is a fact? From all the stuff I've read, everyone, and Justin probably won't agree now, but from everything that I've read, the only thing creatine you should take is creatine monohydrate. Everything else is just like a proprietary blend of stuff which is probably not doing anything more useful than just plain old monohydrate, which is the cheapest stuff and the stuff that the research says you should just take.
Is that the one you send sells for $100?
Yes, at Pick and Pay.
Yeah.
It's
So
so cheap.
This is what it says here on the Nutritech creatine HCl. Hydrochloride concentrate. Increased solubility for absorption, zero loading, cycling or water retention, convenient for microdosing once a day.
Yeah. So just take a scoop of creatine, guys. Normal monohydrate. Don't waste your money on anything else. Can I
It'll be
tell you
fine.
guys a trick that I do?
What?
So I take whey protein and creatine, and so because it's a real hassle to take a scoop of whey and then a scoop of creatine,
Yeah.
and your house gets full of bottles of rubbish. So I buy a tub of whey protein, and say it has 60 servings. Then I buy a tub of creatine, and I take the same number of servings. I take creatine and I pour it into the whey and I shake it up. So you just have one bottle at your house, and every time you take a scoop, you're taking whey plus the right amount of creatine.
So what do you call that stack?
It's called the Courtney stack.
Courtney stack. Let's throw some glutamine in there.
Oh, I'll tell you the next trick that I do.
Weirtine.
Weirtine, yes. So that's my cool trick. And the second cool trick that I do is because everybody knows that protein shakes taste much nicer with milk. Like with water, they taste really horrible sometimes. With
Correct.
milk, they taste nice. But milk is really expensive. So what I do is I go to Pick and Pay and I buy a small tub of milk powder. Not the one for babies, just the normal like full cream milk powder that people make their coffee with.
Cremora.
I should try that. Yeah. But this is just normal full cream milk powder, and I throw that in the bottle as well. So I shake up the whey, the milk powder, and the creatine, and it tastes really nice and it's convenient, and my house is not full of bottles.
I think we should rename this to the dick stack.
Yes, the
I
dick
was just
stack.
going to say, it's a dick stack now.
I know Roger is listening to this right now and he's
Yeah.
thinking, I better order me some of that
Some
dick
of that
stack
dick
right
stack.
now.
So I want some dick right now. I know that's what Roger's saying.
Courts, you are such
Yeah,
a
that's
clever
what he
man. I mean, just full of ideas.
So DM Roger if you have any of that to give him.
Yeah.
He wants it right now. Yeah. So
But
that's
how
it.
do you explain not finishing Angie on that stack?
I should take twice a day.
I think you need to add a double espresso shot to that.
More dick?
And more, you take more dick.
Yeah.
And you'll be okay.
Maybe some shaved coffee capsules.
Oh yeah, like
Yeah.
JP takes.
Or grind up, like, punch it.
Yeah.
Take the remains.
Yeah.
Put it through a blender.
Yeah.
And then add it to
Add it to the bottle.
the stack.
Yeah, like our friend JP in the gym, he takes coffee, what's it called? Caffeine.
Yeah.
Oh, the
Before
capsules.
his workouts. I don't know if he still does, but I used to see him take
Yeah, I
it.
used to take capsules.
I take a double espresso every day before my first session.
Capsule's probably much cheaper.
Yeah. I get a free coffee at the gym.
Ah, there we go.
Ah.
So free air is cheaper.
When Thelma sees me hit the landing, she's like, double espresso, and then I say good morning.
Good morning, Thelma.
Morning, then he goes for a poop.
And then she makes
And then
his
trains.
oats.
That's it.
Oh, yeah, she makes everything for the rest of the day.
Yes, feeds it to him also like a baby. He sits in his baby chair with a little tray.
That's right. With a bib and a hat.
Yeah. And she has to keep an eye on you in case you choke. So cuts up your carrots properly.
That's what patience is for. She just blicks him to me with a broom.
Nice. So the next one is that eating fat makes you fat. We've always heard this one. Fat makes you fat. So don't eat your fat or else you're going to become a big chubby thing.
I think I asked Justin that years ago.
Yeah.
We were eating a steak and I was eating the fat on the side.
Yeah.
I can't remember what you said, but
Yeah.
I asked him. Well, yeah, I remember clearly sitting there.
Yeah. Well, fat does have more calories per gram than protein and carbohydrate. But just because if you had to eat 1,000 calories of protein and 1,000 calories of fat, the fat's not going to make you fatter than the protein. It's all about the calories, right?
So I would say in eating a chocolate bar, obviously has more calories in it.
Yeah.
To eating equal, it's the same thing that you said now. To
Yeah.
equal amounts of fat,
Yeah.
it really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The calories that are going in.
Yeah, guys, I think like you gotta think about this. You've got fats like olive oil, avocado, almonds, to name a few, versus
Peanut butter.
peanut butter is also a good one to put in that category. Those would be considered like healthy fats. You know, I think rather than saying if I eat this I will get fat, you've got to ask yourself how much of this should I be eating to sustain a healthy diet. And as Courtney correctly said, reduce the portion sizes of the fats you're consuming because they're so dense in calories. There are unhealthy fats out there, and you probably want to avoid eating copious amounts of
Processed food
and like the fat on your steak.
Yeah.
Like eating a little bit of that is going to be fine, but if you were to eat,
especially like things fried in oil.
I was going to get there. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
What's that? Hydrogenated oils.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Palm oils, vegetable oils, those sorts of things. You
Yeah.
want to try and stay away from food saturated in that.
Margarine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Margarine, that is terrible. Don't eat that.
Oh, it tastes delicious.
The thing that really makes you fat though is an excessive consumption of carbohydrates which your body can't process, or poor timing of carbohydrate consumption.
Yeah.
If your body doesn't need it, it's not going to use it. You're going to have an insulin spike, your body's going to store it, and then it's going to say, well, what must I do with this now?
Yeah.
And then you become fat.
Yeah. So I think instead of worrying too much about eating fat and making yourself fat, just eat healthy fats and also try not to eat processed foods.
Beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful. The next one's for you, Matt.
No. Exercise can erase my bad eating habits. Yes. Move on.
You think it's true? I read a thing about I think it was Michael Phelps. I think he was at Beijing Olympics or something like that, and he was just eating McDonald's because obviously he was in China and he thought, okay, I don't want to eat like funny dogs and cats and stuff.
He doesn't want to get sick or something.
Yeah, he didn't want to get sick before the Olympics. He was just eating McDonald's, and even with his massive amount of training, like the calories that he was eating from that was still too high. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
so can
So
you,
the answer is pretty much no. Exercise can keep you looking good and stuff, but eating shit counteracts the good work that you're doing in
Yeah.
exercise.
so you can't out-train a bad diet.
Yeah.
And I think we've seen that over and over. Wow.
Absolutely.
Wow.
It's about sustainable energy balance. I
Yes.
think that's a cool phrase that's been going around a lot. I've seen it pop up a couple of times this week on Instagram actually. But essentially, you're training to burn calories. You're eating to consume calories. And if you're eating high volumes of food, which is onboarding more calories than what you're burning, you're not in a negative energy balance.
Yeah.
You're in a positive energy balance, and that means that with more on board, you store more.
Yeah.
So whether you train like a lunatic or not is irrelevant. It's more about making sure that if you burn 500 and you eat 250, you're still in a negative balance. Therefore, you should notice a sustainable loss of fat,
Yeah.
or at least body weight over time.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So that one's pretty easy. The next one was Matt's one also, and it was you can just tone your muscles.
So, first thing.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as toning muscles.
Ladies, sorry.
Ladies.
Yes.
It just basically means you're gaining muscle mass. And
Toning sounds like moaning.
Moaning.
Moaning about toning.
I moan about my
Tone.
muscles all the time. My lack of
I
muscles.
want to tone.
Moan about muscle pain.
I want to get a
Yes.
little bit of curvature on my deltoid.
Yeah.
Right?
Can't I do that?
No,
I really want to.
Why
you
not?
can't tone. You've got to build muscle.
Yeah.
Build muscle.
And then perhaps one day, if you eat right, we'll see it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if you don't, it's just going to be underneath the hood, and no one's going to see it.
Well, that's the thing, yeah. So toning doesn't really exist. You're basically just putting muscle mass on and then trying to remove excess fat.
I
And then
want
you
to
can
tone
look
my
nice.
butt, squat, build your gluteals,
And then eat healthy foods.
and eat healthy foods. Eat some steak and potatoes and
Avocado.
avocado.
And chocolates.
Chocolate. Eat lots of chocolates.
Don't eat chocolates because then you look like Nicki Minaj.
It's Valentine's Day tomorrow. It's Valentine's Day tomorrow. I hope somebody buys me chocolates.
Have you planned anything for Valentine's Day?
I bought some chocolates.
Does Alon listen to this podcast?
No, she doesn't.
All right, so
Sharon
you
doesn't
can,
really listen
then you
either.
can,
No,
you
no,
can
no,
be
he's-
candid. Tell us what it's all about.
I bought some chocolates.
Okay, what chocolates?
I don't know. Nice looking ones.
Did you also buy her a training session?
No.
So she can be in a negative energy balance.
No, she already has a membership here at this expensive gym. She doesn't need another one.
She's currently also signing up at Santosha. So.
Oh,
Yeah,
excellent.
so she-
Okay.
yeah, she's going without me.
Cool. And you, Matt?
No, yes, no.
Yes, no. Yes, maybe.
Yes,
He
maybe.
just
Aren't
washes the
Aren't
dishes.
you going to do something romantic?
No, it'll probably be some chocolates or something like that.
You know what's really romantic? You can play duos on Apex.
Yes, I saw that.
Valentine's Day.
Is Duos released today or tomorrow?
What's that?
I think it's today and tomorrow.
Is it like
Instead
kiss
of
catch?
playing in a team of 3, you can
Yeah.
play in a team of 2.
Can you? Is it kiss catch or do you still shoot people?
No, you just play with your loved one.
That's gonna be Justin.
but you can't play. You can't play co-op. So your loved one has to be in another house.
Why don't they make it so that instead of shooting people, you just run up to them and just give them a little kiss, like
Yes, a little bonus.
And if you kiss them, they die.
they die. Yes.
yeah, double
the kiss
points.
of, the kiss of death.
Yeah. Okay. So there we go. So now you can't tone your muscles. Sorry, ladies. The next one is that women should lift lower weights and do higher repetitions than men. Which is one that we always heard. Like, I'm sure I heard this every day when I was growing up. Ladies, don't lift heavy. Just do lots of reps with pink dumbbells. Justin has some of those in his garage. Pink ones
Yeah.
for Chelsea.
That's when Justin bought them back in the day when he was.
Yes.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I need to lose some weight and tone. So
I got to
maybe-
totally some.
I need to do 1,000 frontal raises, and we'll
Full
wrap it
frontals.
up with some calf raises afterwards,
Yeah.
and see what happens.
Did it work for you?
No,
Any day now, it's going to pay off.
any day now.
Just keep going.
I'm still going actually.
Yeah. So it's a myth that women should lift lighter weights for lower reps. I don't know. I guess the differences between male and female physiology is something for an expert to talk to us about. I don't think we're sufficient experts besides Justin.
You know what? I just think you need to create a stimulus that the body is not used to.
Yeah.
So, and that's what CrossFit does so well with its constant variation concept, is that, you know, on some days you're going to go heavier for less reps, on other days you're going to do more reps at a lighter load, and it's not about which one is better, it's about keeping the body in that constant state of adaptation.
Yeah.
As soon as it gets comfortable with one rep range or one type of load, that's when you stop seeing results.
Yeah.
So maybe to debunk this particular myth, we just need to say something like, it's not so much about good and bad or right and wrong, but rather about keeping your body in a state of adaptation.
Muscle confusion.
Yeah.
Like Arnold.
There we go. You should coin that one.
You should. I think Arnold already can coin that one.
You think so?
Yeah. that's
Really?
it.
Okay,
Like,
Courts.
1974.
Stop being a poser.
He still hasn't watched Pumping Iron.
Oh, really?
Remember, like a second episode, we found that.
Yeah.
Well, until I watch Pumping Iron, I'll think that you came up with that very
Oh,
clever
I'm not sure if he
concept.
says it in there actually.
Good. Keep it there. Yeah. He always said you must create muscle confusion. So you just you go.
Yeah.
Muscles are like I don't know
Which way
what
he's
you're gonna
going.
go. What's
You
happening?
start walking over to the tricep machine, you take a hard right, and you start doing bicycles.
Muscles like no, I don't know what's
I'm
happening.
confused.
Okay, I'll grow. It's fine.
Yes,
I'll
yeah,
grow.
yeah, you confused me. I'm crying.
Thanks. Okay.
You load up 100 kgs to back squat, and
Yeah.
instead of just before you're about to back squat, you start doing calf raises.
Yeah, muscles.
Hey, you there.
Okay. Oh, you got me. You
You
got
got us,
me.
Arnie.
You got me. Okay. So yes. The next one that we also heard every day while we were kids is that you can spot reduce fat in one area, especially by doing lots of crunches. So if I'm really fat, I can stay fat everywhere else except on my stomach by doing lots of crunches.
Yes, the answer is yes.
Crunches give you hunches.
This is Justin's favorite
Go
saying.
do 100,000 sit-ups.
That's why he made us do 100 sit-ups in class today.
Yes, because he
And,
knows
have a hunch.
Courtney's just going to have this flat stomach and then
Yes.
just
And a
all,
rounded
sticking
back.
around. Yeah, and a rounded back.
Yeah, so you can't spot reduce. Except I heard something interesting the other day, which I must still do more research, is they've apparently come up with this injection, which is like fluid and salt, ice water and salt or something like that. And they inject it into your fat and it like melts your fat.
Obliterated.
Oh, apparently it's not a myth, it's like a real thing that's come up. And it needs more clinical trials, but
Sounds like a partial fact to me.
I don't know. I'm gonna think
So
about
it's just
this
gonna
some more.
like people gonna end up with like parts of their body all just like dented in.
Yeah. So apparently it's like it gives you the same effects as like lipo or whatever, but it has no side effects and stuff like that. So maybe this is one for the future.
Melting.
It's crazy because I think whenever people think about these techniques to reduce fat quickly,
Yeah.
they forget about the fact that the rest of their body needs to adapt to.
Yeah.
And by that I mean your skin. So what are you going to do when you obliterate all the fat underneath the hood? What's your body going to do with the skin?
Gonna try and suck it up.
Shed it like a snake.
Yeah.
Yes, that was my first guess.
Yeah. And also what people forget is that
You just
if
disappear for a month.
Yes.
Sorry, carry on.
If you take away like the fat in your stomach, like close to the outside, it doesn't take away the fat around your organs. So you're still not necessarily healthy just because you've taken away the exterior fat. You still got all that interior stuff still making you sick.
Of course.
Yeah. Okay, so you can't spot reduce, unfortunately, but you can tone.
I think a lot of people think that. They still think it. I think it's a big thing.
It's a big thing, yeah.
People think that if I do tricep extensions, the wobble on my arms going to go away.
Yeah.
Or bicep curls.
It might if you get really big triceps from doing lots of triceps.
And it just pushes it through.
Yeah.
You're not really burning the fat in the area. Well, you're not at all.
Yeah.
So are we saying you can't spot reduce fat, but you can spot build muscle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you can mask the fat by pushing through.
Yeah. Definitely. You can definitely spot build muscle. Like you see guys that are only doing bench and biceps with skinny little legs. So you can
So
definitely
that's your way around to get really muscular. So you end up like blowing a balloon up, like your muscle starts pushing from the inside.
Yeah.
So the air is your muscles
stretches
course.
your fat.
stretches you.
Use it or lose it.
Yes.
That's another myth which is actually true.
Yeah. If you don't use your muscles, they disappear.
Yeah.
Yeah. How quickly?
Very quickly. Atrophy kicks
Atrophy
in
into
within a week or two.
But then there's like that, like we spoke about a while ago, I think, that like muscle memory. So you get these like weightlifters, like Ilya, who gets popped for drugs, and then he gets all depressed and he doesn't lift for a year, and then he comes back, and then like 6 months later he'll be clean and jerking 240 again.
Straight back into like bounces in.
They get strong again so quickly.
Yeah.
Like all the little holes are there,
Yeah.
and then they empty out. But
Yeah.
then when you fill them up again, it just fills up quickly, like
Yeah.
a sponge.
It's crazy.
I remember, Math, you should remember this, once upon a time in the bog, the Borisov Olympic gym. Matt and I were training, and our coach at the time Neville Swart, walked up to a 100 kg bar and power cleaned it
Yes, I got pictures.
in a pair of high techs and
Yes.
khaki shorts.
Yeah.
And Matt and I had spent maybe half an hour warming up to that weight,
Yes.
Yes.
and he just hit it.
Yes, he pops it right into the crease.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
And we saw that the other day with Matt, who had knee surgery,
Yes.
and he could hardly do an air squat for like a couple of months. And then, like 3 days ago, he gets a almost PB back squat.
Yeah.
Like after doing nothing for like 6 months.
It was all a lie.
So your muscles just remember
They just remember that. You
Yeah.
gotta get this.
muscle
Maybe
memory.
it was just my right leg.
No, yes, you squatted the whole way with one leg. Yeah. Okay, so the next one.
Next one is no pain, no gain.
Yeah, that must
Hey?
be true. Must be true. I have to have pain.
I've got to be sore.
Why do I go to CrossFit every day? I'm full of pain. So can I just not have pain?
I think this goes back to what we were talking about when it comes to muscle confusion. When you expose your body to a stimulus that it's not familiar with, pain is imminent, and by pain I mean delayed onset of muscle soreness. So like, pain needs to be defined as muscle soreness that is sort of tangible, or something you can feel when moving the next day, or tensing the muscle at any point.
Yeah.
But I don't necessarily think it means you have to hurt yourself in order to get results.
Yeah.
If you're in pain, you're injured.
Yeah.
So if
Yeah.
your elbow's really sore and it can barely move,
Joint
pretty
inflammation.
much injured.
Joint inflammation is not necessary.
Yeah. And then
Joint inflammation is a sign of poor technique or overuse.
what you're saying in the sense of like burning, that sensation, it's not a bad thing, but
Do you mean by lactic acid production?
yes, or yeah, because that's the pain I think they're talking about. They don't. So when you go in you're watching Arnie on Pumping Iron and he's like putting the faces and going like, it hurts, it's pumping. So that's what I imagine the pain they mean.
Mm.
And then so it's not necessarily a bad thing, but
Yeah. Like we're always rolling around on the floor after our workouts. Like that's pretty painful.
sorry, I was just reading.
Like
this
do I
thing.
have to be
I was
in,
reading what I wrote down. Yeah.
do I have to be in pain after my workout and roll around the floor?
No, that's yeah. So
Um,
that's it. If you're not feeling it, doesn't mean you're not doing any work.
I would say that feeling that you have of collapsing to the ground, rolling around and feeling spent is important a few times a week.
Mm.
I would say that if you are not pushing to that level, you're not necessarily creating that stimulus that your body's unfamiliar with. So what I mean is if you're too comfortable, so if you finish the workout and you just walk away from it, you may not have pushed to an intensity or to a speed that is unfamiliar, and therefore you're not creating an environment for change.
Mm.
That's what you got to be. There's a differentiator between high intensity and max intensity. Max intensity is I pushed so hard, I did Fran, I lay on my back and I couldn't move for an hour. Alright, that's like I went max. If you do that every single time you train, you'll probably develop an injury.
Yeah.
But if you go high intensity, enough to make you uncomfortable, enough to lie down or sit down or roll around or wince at the feeling that's going through your body, I think it would be, the gains you would make would be less.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say you won't make gains, because there is a concept called the minimum effective dose, the smallest amount of work I need to do in order to make a change.
Mm.
That's like something you would experience in a sedentary person. It's like this person has done nothing for 5 years.
Yeah.
They stand up, sit down for 3 sets of 10. 3 weeks later, they can do an air squat.
Mm.
So
You know, like they're not necessarily going to be broken and lying on their back after that.
Yeah.
they'll eventually get to the point.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, if they carried on. So let's say we did the Turkish get up ones for quality the
Yes.
other day, but there's no pain.
Mm.
But you still gain.
Yeah, that's. I think that's a good example of like low impact, minimum effective dose. Like if you did Turkish get up every Thursday, for 6 weeks, you were not gonna like die on the floor like you would after Fran, but you'd probably see your 1 rep max Turkish get up improve.
Yeah.
So is the answer yes and no?
Yeah, I guess so. Yes and no. It's partial fact.
Some pain, some gain.
Yeah.
More pain, more gain.
Until you get injured,
If you read it like no pain, no gain, no, don't hurt yourself.
then it's fine. Yeah.
Hurting yourself is not gonna.
Yeah.
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 Hurt yourself, no fucking gain.
Yes. Exactly. All right.
For 6 weeks.
That's
For
it.
6
Next
weeks.
one.
Lifting heavy makes you bulky.
I wish I got bulky. But it's I think lifting heavy in high frequency makes you bulky. But like, especially ladies again, for this one, like same with Tony one, you're not going to get bulky. Like, I really wish I was bulky, but I go to class almost every day and I'm still not bulky. And the only people who are bulky are the ones who are training 3 hours a day.
Pretty much, and more importantly, are eating enough protein to sustain the muscle mass required to look that way.
Yeah.
And that's usually a good choice.
Yes.
Like, hey, do I take creatine? Yes. Hey, do I take whey protein? Yes. Do I eat steak, chicken, eggs, tuna every day? Yes.
So
Do you? Probably not.
Probably not.
So the bulky ladies that the ladies talk about when they say, you know, I don't want to get bulky and go to that gym or something.
They are referring.
They're looking at people that are trying to get bulky.
Yeah, they're most likely referring to someone they saw on a bodybuilding magazine or a bodybuilding friend that they know who most likely is on steroids.
Yeah, or who trains a hell of a lot. Because some of the top CrossFitting ladies, they've got big muscles. They've got big biceps, triceps, quads. But they are training multiple hours a day. And like Justin says, they're supplementing and they're eating a lot of food.
Yeah.
So you probably won't get there.
So it's going to make you strong.
Yeah.
And it helps burn fat.
Yes.
Because it's nice big muscle groups. If you do squatties.
Muscle burns fat, eh? Burns more fat than fat. So yeah. So the next one was that long hours of steady state cardio are the key to weight loss.
I like that you put this one in because I didn't really ever thought about it. But I just read low intensity cardio has the effect of burning muscle mass or retaining fat. Thus, if a chubby person does a lot of cardio, they tend to become skinny fat and not become ripped.
Yeah. Like you've seen that a lot in people who are members of running clubs and do a lot of running, and then they meet at Vita after they're running and they don't look like they've lost a lot of fat from all this running that they're doing. Whereas I think if you did a balanced program with lots of running or biking or whatever and did some weight training as well 2-3 times a week, you'd burn a lot more fat than just doing steady state cardio.
And those muscles start pushing through a bit.
Yeah.
And taking a bit of shape.
This is Matt's number one concept for today.
What's interesting, I think what people also neglect is that building muscle creates more storage capacity for carbohydrates, or otherwise known as glucose, which gets converted into glycogen.
Yeah.
So like when it comes to eating more or just eating in general, you want to know that, you know, the calories you're consuming in the form of carbohydrates have a place to be stored and utilized.
Yeah.
But if the storage capacity for muscles is so in the muscles is so small, or therefore so low, like doing more cardio is not necessarily going to fix that problem. You're going to need to lift some weights to build the muscle required to store carbs, and then of course like you might be burning your immediate blood sugar, but it's not to say that the intensity is high enough to mobilize fat that's on board faster than that what would be done with weights.
Yeah.
Am I making sense?
Yeah, makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's skip to our last one because we got so much listener feedback today. We gotta fly through these. The last one is that lifting weight turns fat into muscle. So this is also one we heard a lot when we were kids, is that you should go on a bulk, you should eat a lot of calories, get really fat, and then hit the gym and turn all that fat into muscle.
It's not like Play-Doh.
Yeah.
It's not like moldable where you like grab your quad and you like, there we go.
Yeah.
Got yourself a quad.
Yes.
Doesn't work like that.
So you can't turn fat into muscle.
Sorry.
So you got to lose fat and gain muscle.
Gain the muscle.
Yes.
So I don't know who came up with these things when we were kids, and they just wrote them in magazines. And the editors were like, "Yeah, that makes sense."
And a lot of it like carries on through.
Yes.
You know, we're all still hearing it from people.
Yeah.
Like the whole bulky thing. I still hear it when I tell people, come train, yeah. And they're like,
Well,
I don't want to look like her.
It probably all started back in the day with a podcast similar to this one.
Yeah.
Where like
Spewing out partial.
it was like partial crap, semi-informed nonsense, and people listen to it. Like I'm sure some people will listen to this and they make their own assumptions.
Yeah.
Like I heard Courtney and Matthew say X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
And then they pass it down to their children.
Yeah, and they passed it down to their children, and their children became equally as daft. And then Justin had to correct them.
Yeah. Our words will live on forever. So you can't turn fat. There's no need to go on like a massive like bulk and like gain 10 kilos of fat and then try and turn that into muscle and be really strong.
So what? let's talk quickly a little bit about why are the strong men fat?
I don't know. There was an
Like,
article.
why is Eddie Hall thick?
Probably
Like-
because he's consuming thousands of calories. He probably isn't in a negative energy balance.
Yeah.
He's probably more worried about having enough energy on board in order to perform the feats that he's performing.
Yeah.
Like, he would rather have more energy for more performance than just enough energy to perform at 90% but still look good. Does that make sense?
Mm.
Like, there's a sacrifice of needing more energy on board.
Yeah.
And I think that's also a very fine line that CrossFitters actually travel, is that, like, if you're doing 3 sessions in a day but you're worried about what you look like, and come your 3rd session you're like, oh, I've eaten all my food that I've packed for today, but I feel flat and I feel like I can't attack this 100 calories on the assault bike.
Yeah.
You probably need to consume some more carbohydrates before that session. But there'll be some CrossFitters out there that'll be like, oh, if I eat more sugar now and I didn't plan for it in my macro counting, then I'm probably going to look a little bit chubby, so I'm going to sacrifice performance for image.
Yeah.
And I'm going on a limb here, and I'm just saying that I think with your big strong men powerlifters, they're probably like up to 1,000 calories north of where they could be.
So they have a really big buffer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not an image sport, I
They
guess.
don't care.
No.
There was an
Maybe
article.
one day it will get redefined.
There's the one guy, I don't know, I can't say his name, but he's super shredded. The one
Yes,
strong man.
there is one guy.
Polinsky or something.
Yeah.
I mean,
Really long name.
Look at some modern day rugby players. You get some really good looking guys that clearly take the image side of things seriously, and you get other guys that just really couldn't be bothered.
Yeah.
They're fucking strong and they're fucking powerful and they can run fast. But if you take your shirt off, they'll be like,
Yeah.
is this a professional athlete?
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know if there's a disconnect in the professionalism in certain sports with regards to image as being a depiction of performance or not.
Yeah.
But I definitely do think that in order to look a certain way, you have to be on a restrictive diet.
Yeah. And I guess if you're a big prop and you're fat, your opponents don't want to run into you because it's really going to hurt and it's not going to move you because you're really heavy.
Well, I mean, when you're a prop and you need to weigh a certain weight in order to
For the front.
to
Get into
make
the
up
front,
the weight distribution in the scrum.
Yeah.
It's like, well, there's 2 ways of going about it. You can build muscle, and you can add fat.
Yeah.
I guess there's a balance there that comes with that.
Yeah. So there was an article I read once years ago, like talking in weightlifting, whether being fat makes you lift more weight, and I must find it, and I'll report back later in the year when I eventually find it.
Yeah. Well, think about this. Your skeleton has to carry that weight around.
Yeah.
So as a result of carrying more weight, and then the whole concept of what that weight does under gravity, I think that naturally is going to make you stronger.
Yeah.
Your bones are going to have to adapt to the demands.
It'll
So
be over the
the
slow
ligaments-
period.
Yeah, the
as
ligaments,
you
the
grow.
tendons, and the bones will adapt to the demands of gravity.
Yeah.
Plus the fact that you're just heavier.
Yeah.
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 I think.
Think about this. You know that some swimmers that swim excessively and in the past did not do any dry land or gym training, their bones would break because their bones had become brittle by having no gravity loaded on their skeletons.
Yeah.
Jeez.
That's
Yeah.
the equivalent of a really light person
Yeah.
with no fat on their body.
Yeah.
More fat could create adaptation within the body that
Yeah.
makes you a little bit stronger.
That's what's going to happen to Elon Musk when he goes to Mars. He's going to have no gravity and brittle
It
bones.
becomes brittle and
It's
Yeah,
gonna
that
snap.
happens. That
They-
happens.
they have to
that
do
happens
those exercise
to
machines, yeah.
Space-o-nauts, what they called?
Space-o-nauts.
Space-o-nauts.
Astronauts.
That's right. Perfect.
Space-o-nauts.
Space-o-nauts. That's right. Correct name. That's the end of our main topic for today. So we're running out of time.
Yes.
But we got so much listener feedback, Matt.
Yes.
This is the first
This
time
one's
we've
double.
had so much listener feedback.
We even got an email,
And a voice note.
a voice note, an email, a comment, a video, a picture. And we even got a comment from a non-human.
I also saw smoke coming off the mountain earlier this week.
Yeah.
And I was wondering if there was someone trying to make contact with
Smoke
us.
signals.
The smoke signal.
It was.
I
Matt's
think
going to
it
read
was.
that out.
Eh?
Matt's going to read that out as well. Yeah.
So the first one was
Yeah.
from Revolution Skipping. He actually DM'd me first, and he because I posted a picture of no results, only excuses, but like a the
Skipping rope.
writing over of skipping rope, so
Yeah.
it looked like it was ours. And he replied, actually, I was thinking about making a pair for you guys.
Yes, so we'd love that.
So I replied, we love free stuff or something like that. And then he posted this. I'd love to hear Nori's podcast do double unders on their podcast with a little demo image of no results, no excuses picture.
So I think we agreed earlier this week that when those handles arrive,
Yeah.
then we're going to just skip to each.
Yes.
Each segment.
Each
If
segment
we're
of
only
the
getting
show.
the handles, then we are.
We're going to skip the whole time.
Yeah.
I'll skip
the
the
whole
whole time with no rope, but if there's rope attached, I'll skip for the news.
So if we get them, we must do some sort of AMRAP or something in the room.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'll be cool.
Or, skip the whole episode. Yes.
So thanks Revolution Skipping. You must check them out on Instagram. They can make you custom stuff.
Yeah.
So hopefully they'll make us a nice custom thing. Next one.
Next one.
Archie.
Archie the mini schnauzer.
What's a schnauzer?
It's the most popular dog in the world right now.
Really?
I don't know.
I've
It's
seen
just
that
everyone
one.
has one.
Yeah, everyone at this gym has a schnauzer.
That's our first
It's a
partial
CrossFit
fact for
dog.
the episode.
Yes.
Yes.
CrossFit dog is the official CrossFit dog is the mini schnauzer.
Okay.
Why is a dog commenting on our podcast?
He's very advanced.
Huh?
He has Instagram.
Is this a robotic dog?
No, he's real. He runs around, he poos, he does tricks. He pees on the
getting
carpet.
puppy trained.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He really enjoyed the episode. Maybe do one where you review dog treats. Also, how about an episode about dogs, box dogs? How awesome they are and why people love them. Keep up the good work.
Thanks, Archie. So Justin's going to eat some dog treats.
Yeah,
And,
do you guys want Justin to test dog treats out?
Yeah. So tell us the popular brands. I don't know anything about dog treats. I buy my dog's treats from Pick and Pay.
The latest dog treats on the market are CBD infused
Oh,
dog
really?
treats.
This is unnecessary, guys. We need to calm down now. The world is becoming crazy. Dogs don't need CBD.
Maybe some Jack Russells do.
To calm down. Calm down. Justin has a Jack Russell.
Mm.
Yeah, there
That
we go.
dog is on the go 24/7.
Nice. Okay, so the next one was a video.
Jeremy sent us a video of me snatching with a horse head on it.
How did that happen?
A horse head on it, a horse head on me.
Yeah.
It was Halloween in the office, and obviously I brought the horse head over, and
Yeah.
then came to gym afterwards, and I brought it with. And then after the session, I just did a power snatch with the horse head on,
It was heavy.
and that was his contribution to.
I'm amazed
feedback.
that you landed it.
Yeah, man, the coordination, it feels really weird.
Yeah,
and
when you
the
snatch-
face sticks out.
Yeah. Could you see through that?
I remember that. You can see just through the nostrils, but it's far, like tiny. Like
Okay.
You can't really. He said it was in 2016,
Cheapest.
October 2016.
It's crazy, eh?
Jeez.
You look very you look like you're on creatine in that
I
picture.
did.
He does look big, eh? Yeah, he's
Yeah.
big. Yeah.
Do you think you were taking lots of creatine then, or were you just
Nah.
eating more?
No, probably eating more.
But you're the
Training
same
more.
weight.
I might be a bit heavier now. I think I'm fatter now.
I think you're just wearing a tight shirt that time.
Unless it's just a tight shirt, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, guys, you know we didn't state earlier that for every carbohydrate molecule that's stored, you get 3 water molecules attached to that.
Really.
So maybe it's not so much about the creatine, but more about with the muscle mass that's being improved,
Yeah.
taking in more carbohydrates as storage,
Yeah.
but also taking in water.
Ah.
No.
There we go.
Maybe that's what it's all about.
Justin's been reading the science.
I think Sarah Heaney's gonna comment and give us some insight.
Yeah. Sarah did actually comment.
She did.
She commented about Steffi Cohen. And she said that Steffi has deadlifted 247 kilos in the past. And that in this video that Matt talked about last week, she was using straps, like weightlifting straps. And she was using a deadlift bar which bends and apparently makes the lift a lot easier. And she also went up a weight class. So yeah, thanks for that, Sarah. What did she say about squat depth, Matt?
There are thousands of world champions, world records in powerlifting because there are so many federations, each with their own competition, different rules. So, example, squat depth requirements. And there are so many age and weight categories too, and different levels of supportive equipment that can be worn. So, replying on the squat depth, certain equipments, example, would be stiff knee wraps and squat suits. I've never seen a squat suit. Can give loads of rebound in the squat, and so a bounce going to the hole is not required for a stretch reflex. It comes from the equipment, not the psychology in this case.
Physiology,
Physiology. Sorry.
not the
Sorry,
psychology.
Sarah,
Eddie Hall was the psychology man. Is this true that Sarah Heaney has the heaviest squat in the history of Cape CrossFit? Is that a real fact? Apparently she squatted 140 the other
Did
day.
you have a squat suit on?
I would need. She didn't. She did squat 140. I was present. It was marvelous.
Yeah.
However,
we
I
went well
don't
below
know.
parallel.
We'd have to check with the archives of Oman.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's the heaviest squat at Cape CrossFit, but we'll see. So
What is Lisa squatted?
132 or something like that.
Oh, well then there you have it.
So Sarah she's a doctor and a heavy squatter and a expert commenter on Instagram posts with facts.
A squatter.
A squatter, yeah. Doctor in squat psychology.
Okay, and now we got one of our
We got our first
one
email.
out of our 3 emails that we've received.
Other 2 are from Google. They said, welcome to Gmail.
And he's actually asking to be signed up for the mailing list.
Who's that?
Michael Swartland.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Thanks, Mike.
One of our faves. One of our fave subjects.
Yeah, physicist in Botswana, past winner.
Yeah. Justin, what did he say?
Who, Mike?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mike said that basically, in his opinion, gyms should focus on optimizing their space by subletting rather than focusing on getting lots of trainers in and expecting them to all have 50 members each or 50 personal training clients.
Yeah.
It might be easier to offer varied services which don't cannibalize each other, and then getting a flat rental and offering added value to the current membership base, such as dietitians, physios, bios, psychologists. I mean, the list goes on. You can even have a box doctor. I think the modern gym or the modern box, CrossFit box, is probably going to be something that is like a one-stop shop.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to have a panel beater or anything like that, but you know, it should be a place where you can go and get all your sort of allied health services seen to.
Yeah.
Maybe even like a small little wellness warehouse or a place where you could buy some thumb tape and a protein bar simultaneously would be cool.
So that's the Virgin Active does that, don't they?
Yeah, they have physios and bios and stuff like that. Yeah.
And they can have their own personal clients or
They rent.
They rent.
They rent
Yeah.
the
And
space,
that's
I
just
guess.
using the
Sure.
space.
But I think that's like what that's exactly kind of what Mike is saying. Whereas if we reflect back on our previous episode, we were talking about how that one person indicated that if you are offering group classes, then you're basically just a Zumba studio.
Yeah, so can you sublet some of this gym to a Zumba studio in case I want to do Zumba?
I personally wouldn't.
You wouldn't set foot inside that part
I
of the
would
gym.
not in last part. But I do like the idea of having a one-stop shop for your members.
That's cool, but then that gives you a chance. Let's say you wanted to just to focus on being a personal trainer,
Yeah,
and you don't have to go learn to speak to people.
of course. Or at least I don't have to worry that there might be another 10 personal trainers competing with me for my client base.
Yeah, with all your different
You
tools
know?
under your.
But I could
belt.
feel completely content knowing that Matthew Bauman is seeing me for personal training, seeing Courtney for physio, seeing John for psychology, and
You can have little meetings at the end of the week.
Yeah. So Justin's going to go take that really dirty room up top there and turn it into a nice little area and sublet it to psychologists and psychiatrists.
that would be ideal.
There we go.
But again, you have to realize then that your business model is almost like it becomes the property game.
Yes.
You know, it's like, how do I get this property to appeal to X amount of tenants?
Yeah.
You know, you're starting to diversify your income streams.
Yes, and become rich. I don't see the problem.
You know,
Richer is better.
Ruth Downs, she agreed with us.
She sent you a voice
She
note.
sent us a voice note. She
very-
said that
very nice voice
she
note.
said that she agrees. Like, group classes are awesome, provided that members feel noticed and acknowledged in their efforts and their goals and dreams. But it would be cool if you could add. Like a couple of personal training sessions to your direct debit if that is what you chose for.
Yeah. So I think that's good.
Thanks
So,
for that feedback, Ruthie.
Thanks, Ruth. And Ruth also said that Justin is the best coach in the history of all coaches of the world.
That's a partial fact.
Really?
Matthew definitely doesn't agree with that.
Yeah.
JP was the message. He says, I've signed up to your mailing list, but you don't mail anything.
It's Matt's fault.
hey, I think someone else can take another responsibility on.
JP, you might be the first person to sign up.
Yeah, and Mike.
I think we've got a few, and some people are forced onto it.
JP and Mike.
Mike wants to be signed up.
So we're going to write an email. I'm going to type one now and to say thank you to everybody, JP and Mike.
That's
for signing it.
Justin's. Since YouTube's not flying, so Justin can do.
He's forgot his camera again.
Justin's going to become the mailing list man.
That makes it 22 episodes in a row he's forgotten the camera.
I just need to charge it.
Episode
Don't worry, guys.
22,
We'll episode 25. I think that's a good one.
Okay,
Okay,
good.
we'll call that one. The
Got a
one that
goal.
you're not here at.
The one where he's in Brazil.
Yeah, we'll broadcast via Skype.
Okay, good. Yeah, well, that's never going to happen. We can't get that right. But thanks, guys. Hey, go away, stupid cars. That's all we've got time for today. There's no quotes of the day because I couldn't find a decent quote of the day. So if you want to get hold of us, just like Mike Swatland, you can email us at noresultsmedia@gmail.com. If you want to Instagram us, just like Archie the Miniature Schnauzer and Sarah Heaney, you can do it on Instagram at NoRexPodcast. If you want to Facebook us, like no one's ever done, you can use NoRex Podcast. And if you want to tweet us, like no one's also ever done, you can use NoRex Podcast, and you can be the first people. We'll
Guys,
see.
I'm gonna just type the word quote in Google and then just read the first one I see.
Okay, good.
Okay,
I hope you got data.
here we go. Here's the first one I find. Few things are harder to put up with than the annoyance of a good example.
I don't get it.
Okay.
Say that again.
Few things are harder to put up with than the annoyance of a good example. Mark Twain.
If you get a good example, is it really annoying?
Yeah, I guess if you're trying to prove someone wrong and someone comes back at you with a
something
good
that's better.
example of why you're
Good
wrong,
example.
and you're like, fuck that person.
Ah, okay. So, good one, Mark
Thanks,
Twain.
Mark Twain.
He wrote a book or two also. Nice books. Huckleberry Sawyer.
Huckleberry Finn.
Yes, Justin read that when he was doing English at Stellenbosch.
Can I read another quote?
Yeah, you're loving these
Go
quotes.
for it.
In a gentle way, you can shake the world.
Ah, thank you.
Is that
that
to
for?
someone? That's for Valentine's Day?
That was Mahatma Gandhi.
Oh, really? Oh, jeez.
In a gentle way, you can shake the world.
That's nice. Thanks, Mahatma.
It's better when you say it in a whisper.
Yeah. On 14th of February.
You say that to Chelsea tomorrow.
Yes. I don't know if this is a legit one.
Yeah. Send nudes, not hate.
Yeah.
Mahatma Gandhi.
That one's a good one.
Do you think he said that?
He definitely said that.
He definitely said it, yeah.
Send nudes.
I
not
mean,
hate.
Google, what is going on here?
Alright, guys. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks
We'll
for
see you
listening.
again. Bye-bye.
Bye. Cheers.
Oh, that's a good one. Send nudes, not hate. Next week we must talk about the shoes. Did you guys listen to that podcast I sent about the shoes?
I listened to the first one. No,
Not
I
yet.
definitely didn't listen to the podcast.
Yeah, you guys were discussing it in the sanction group.
Yeah. So
Courtney was discussing the
I was
section.
discussing it with myself. But then Ryan sent me some voice note later explaining his point of view. But we must talk about it next week because I still don't feel like there's much to this. I think the guys are maybe like running purists. They have like a deep love for running,
Yes.
and I think that sometimes can cloud your judgment on something.
Yeah.
Just like I said to Ryan, it's the same like when I used to like just do weightlifting, and I was like, no, if you bend your elbows, you are basically evil. You're basically the Antichrist, because you're like so in love with the pure weightlifting. And if you do a meet, you have to like wait an hour and then weigh in and then do this and take 3 and then wait 2 minutes between your lifts, and like you're like so in love with the purity of the sport that you kind of lose like bigger perspective. And I think it's kind of a bit like that with this running shoe story.
We're getting blinded.
But maybe someone has a better opinion than
Blinded
me.
by their faith.
Someone must let me know. But I think it's the same. Like suddenly when someone invented spikes, like can you imagine if you are running the 100 meters in your normal tackies, and then the first guy to show up there with spikes, and he must beat you by like 20 meters, and then everyone must have said like, whoa, this is taking away the purity of sprinting. Or like the first guy to use like a carbon fiber tennis racket when everyone else had wooden tennis rackets. He must have served the ball like 50 kilometers an hour faster.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't know, but
Listen, I think there's transitions that happen in sport, and you made a good point earlier this week about going from barefoot running or standard flat shoe running to running with spikes. There's going to be an immediate change. It becomes fair if every athlete in the playing field has access to the same
And
equipment.
then
Yeah.
everyone's happy. Once
Yeah, it's like when the I think it was called the LZR Lightning suits were released and all the world records were broken.
Yeah.
Some athletes had access, others did not.
yeah,
Then it's an issue.
yes.
I mean, if Kipchoge,
Kipchoge.
Chokogi,
Chimogi.
Mokogi broke the world record.
Chipotle.
if he broke the world record wearing those shoes, then I encourage other runners around the world to wear the same pair of shoes
Yeah.
under the same conditions,
Even the playing field.
and go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then everyone can shut the fuck up.
I think like Adidas and Puma and everyone will start making these similar shoes now. They'll just copy Nike basically and get around the patterns, but we'll see.
We're
Yeah,
supposed to prank call someone.
Yes.
Prank call. People must let us know who we can prank call.
Yeah. Good idea.
Courtney, you're smelling ripe, eh?
Oh man, it's your class. I have to do too
Jeez.
many pull-ups.
How's that warm up? After that warm up, you were smelling it.
Jeez, Justin was trying to kill us today. That's why it took so long.